My name is Jason, and I'm here for Daily Dose of Hope, day 343. So nice to meet you, and nice to see you again. A Daily Dose of Hope is just that. It's an attempt to help you in these times that are quite tumultuous, to help you to find that middle path. So kind of liken it to the yin and yang symbol. So you see the yin and yang symbol, there are two sides, and there's a little bit of one side in the other, and a little bit of the other side in the other. And but if you look in the middle, they have this little path in the middle, right? And that's the path that we try to walk down. So, for example, on our world stage, things are very polarized now. There's the left and the right. And some people think the good or the bad, and all these different things are going on, right? But hold on a second, let me turn off. I've got my sound thing on here. Hold on. That one's a little better probably. But there's two polarized sides, and that's part of our world at this moment, and it's always been a part of our world, but in these times it's very, very polarized. Each side is very, very much energized, and so it's very easy to jump into emotions like anger or fear or sadness or judgment and all these different things. But when you do that, that takes away from your peace. And when you do judge too, you're judging yourself as well. So whatever you do comes back to you. So the most the best path to walk down is the middle one. So you can walk down your path in peace. And even though things are very polarized and the stories it's like a low budget science fiction film. Like even like Oliver Stone is in front of the Congress at this moment. It's just, so it's a low budget science fiction film, but what we can do though is walk down that middle path, and we can see it all and enjoy the show, but we don't have to jump into it. Keone, hey, nice to see you again. Good timing. So yes, so I'd like to share. So this is my site, and here I have all my different offerings. So experiences in channeling, and so I offer spiritual guidance here, and there's 3 different flavors. There's a 1 question session, 60-minute session, and 30-minute session, and there's testimonials and stuff. If you're interested, you can check there. Also, we have a community, which is quite nice. It's very homey. So this is where you can, if you just click on the website and go to offerings, it's right here, and you can join here, Lightworker it's called. And if you join, you get 2 live Q&A channelings a month plus a sound bath, and also you get access to all of the archives. So you get access to here, and we have archives back to 2023, so about 50 hours of channeling, in addition to about where are we at, 30, no, how many, yeah, about 30 sound baths. So it's quite a lot of sound baths. In addition, so the videos are there, and then we have this transcripts of everything too. So it makes it easy to look through stuff. So yeah, that's what I offer. And yeah, so what I'd like to share today is Keone, you're asking, do you want to channel a specific goddess today? Not necessarily. I'm just gonna play it by ear and see what happens, depending on what we're talking about today. So yeah, no one specific. I did look into Sophia, but I was recommended by my guides to not. So that's, yeah. But I did look into her a bit. It's a very interesting story. It's a pretty interesting story. But the story I wanted to talk about today was this story. This is a movie. It's based on a book by Neil Gaiman. It's called Coraline, and it's an animated feature, and it's really beautiful. The colors are really beautiful, and the story is really wonderful as well. The book is amazing. But so Coraline is the story of this little girl she's living in a kind of dysfunctional family. And if you can see on the bottom, this is her dysfunctional kind of family, and they're not doing so good, and they had to move out in the country because the father lost a job or something like that. and there's just all kinds of problems. But she discovers this little entrance, this little doorway that leads her into like a parallel reality where it's like her mother and her father, but they are happy and it's very colorful and everything is wonderful. And the only thing is they have buttons for eyes. Let's see if there's a good picture of it. This is called her other mother. They call it the other mother because this is the mother that's in the parallel dimension. Right, so for some reason I really love this movie, even though it was it's a little bit not disturbing, but it's not. I mean, it has a happy ending and everything like that, but for some reason this movie really pulled me in. There's something about this movie that I resonate with for some reason, and and the story is that this woman. Spoiler alert! I'm going to spoil it, so if you want to see it, I recommend not listening to me. But so she is actually she is trying to get Coraline trying to get her to sew buttons into her eyes, or trying to sew buttons into Coraline's eyes. She says, can we sew buttons in your eyes? And what that does is that once she does this, then this other mother has complete control over her. So everyone in this alternative dimension has buttons for eyes, except for a cat that's able to travel through both dimensions, which is very interesting as well, as cats are very able to. I often look at Neil Gaiman's books and stories as documentaries because I think they are. And it's like plausible deniability to make it into a movie or a story. But this story, though, the reason I'm bringing this up, though, is because it came about in a dream I had just recently. I was in a place. I was like in a family home kind of thing, and there was family around. But then there were these people that were kind of positioned throughout the house or throughout the room, and they all had like those masks that we had to wear during the crazy times, and they were wearing those, and I thought, that's strange. What are those people doing there? And I noticed that no one else noticed them, that they were there. And I also felt that they weren't there for our benefit. It wasn't a good thing that they were there. And so I remember that. And I remember I kept walking up to these people with the masks on saying, what are you guys doing here? Why are you here? And I noticed that they looked like, they're like trying to shush me. You're not supposed to notice us. You're not supposed to see us. And then another member of the family looked over and saw them as well and said, "Oh, look, they have buttons for eyes," referring to the people with the masks on their faces. And I thought, "Oh, that's interesting." And I was telling the family member, I was like, probably that's not a good thing to say because that's not really a compliment for them. And then the woman who had buttons for eyes said, "Actually, that is a very, very nice and kind thing for her to say." So I wanted to share that. So this idea of buttons for eyes, hold on. Lots of those these days. So the buttons for eyes and this other mother is actually like this spider being that is feeding off of all of these children, basically, right? So there you go. A little bit more disclosure, right? But it's a very interesting story. Coraline escaped in the end, but I was very interested in these buttons for eyes. I thought that was an interesting idea, and I think there's more to it. So I wanted to share that. And then I also wanted to share, I've been reading another one of his books, rereading, basically. I think I've read everything that he's written. This book, it's called American Gods, and they made a Netflix show about it, which I started watching a bit of it, but it was too, I can't handle violence or gruesome stuff. So I couldn't watch it, but the book itself is good though. And it's about, another spoiler alert, but the premise of the book is that when people come, for example, many people came from all over the world to America, and when they came to America, they brought their religion with them. They brought their gods with them, basically, their belief systems. And so the premise of the story is that these gods are here. But people once a few generations in, they stop believing in the original the religion from their original country, and so that these gods have no more power, but they're just there. So there some of them are just living in rundown apartments and just trying to scrape an existence by. And I thought it was really interesting, this book as well, because it reminded me a lot of my experience when I was going around to different shrines here in Japan. And I would go to different shrines, and there are many shrines. There's more shrines per capita here, or per square meter, I guess, than anywhere else in the world. It's intense, the amount of shrines that there are, and temples and everything here in Japan. And when I was doing that, I would encounter many different you could call them gods, or you could call them beings or spirits, or non-incorporated spirits, or all kinds of different things. But there are many of them, and many times people will go to these places and give offerings, give some money or something like that. And it really reminded me of that. And I was going around because there was a lot of beings that were trapped in those shrines and things. There were a lot of energies. It's like a genie in a lamp energy kind of stuff. And I was going around helping out beings that needed to get out. And I also was talking with some of them, and some of them were very upset about that whole concept. And it really reminded me of this book, this American Gods book. So I really believe that a lot of his books are what's the word? Disclosure. It's documentary. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. I wanted to share that, and hold on a second. Stop sharing. Okay. The reason that I wanted to share that is because I think there's a lot. Well, I'm saying I think. I don't think. I know there's a lot to our world. There's a lot more to our world than we realize, and that where we're going with this disclosure idea is we're moving into the place where we are going to be aware of everything that's around us, right? And it's important. So if we're trying to walk that middle path, it's important to kind of understand what's going on. That way we can see it for what it is. And then, of course, there's the shock at first. Oh my goodness, what is going on? But then afterwards, you can understand how it all fits together. And also understand that when we shine our light, so when we see with our eyes, even with our physical eyes, but also with our kind of Christed eyes, we see and we shine the light into things. And that's what's happening now. So all of these things that they haven't really been hidden, but they've been veiled they've been energetically veiled, so that they're there, but only those who would actually look for them will find them. But once you start talking about them, no one's going to believe you anyway. But that's changing. That veil is being lifted. And so everyone's being able to see, oh my goodness, that's happening? That's not right. I don't think that's right. That's our power, and that's what we're doing now. This is the process that we're going through, this transition process, where everything that was hidden is being revealed so that we can see it, we can shine our light in it, and we can understand it in order to move to the next place. And so I wanted to share that idea that these energies exist, they're there. But the idea is that, and this is the idea that my guides had taught me, is that, for example, if you think about it, there's bacteria, I don't know if there's viruses, but there are parasites everywhere, right? All over the place. And some parasites are dangerous, or some, as they call them, viruses, are dangerous, right? But if we keep our immune system high, if we try to, live healthily, then we don't really have to worry about it. And so that's the concept with these sorts of things. There's all kinds of things in the world, but we've got our path, right? We got where we're going. And if we are strong spiritually, energetically, then we don't have to even worry about this stuff. And if we ignore these things, then they have more power. The more you ignore something, there's power in something that's secret. There's power in something that, as they call it, occulted, right? Secret, something that's kept secret. That gains power, right? If you're keeping a secret from someone, that's energy. But if it's all revealed, it's just there. It's out there. And so it loses its energy. It loses that kind of energy. And also, we will know to avoid it, for example. So if there's a city, I hope this in the future, this isn't the case, but in certain, not in Japan really, but in America, right? Especially when I used to live in Baltimore. In Baltimore, there's some places, that just don't want to go, especially at night, and it's, palpably dangerous, right? And so you just know not to go there. But if you don't go there, you're usually fine. You're usually, and even if you went there, you probably would be okay, but it's probably better to avoid, because you're taking a chance. And so it's a similar idea with this. It's like, we know that stuff exists, but we've got our own life. We're living our life. We're moving, so it's acknowledgement of the yin and yang, understanding that they're there, but understanding that we don't have to jump into any of it, and we don't have to jump in and basically like save the world. We save the world by first seeing everything, understanding how it works, and shining our light into it. That's how we shine the light into all of the shadows, without fear, without anger, without judgment. Because when you do those, you get drawn down into all that stuff, and that's the trap. And so I guess that's what I wanted to share today about that. For some reason, I guess just because of that dream, I think the dream had a lot to it. There's a meaning behind that. So understanding that the button eyes, so the people with the button eyes, maybe they were just similar to that. They were just a little child that was in a very dysfunctional place and didn't really have much of a choice. So I'm not saying either way. I'm just saying that, understanding that everything and everyone has a backstory and everything has a reason behind it. And I feel like things are kind of, the energies picking up more and more, the energy of things being revealed. So my guides have said that there's, we're moving towards a paradigm shift. So I think it's just really important to just be aware of that. Kione, you're asking about Sophia. Yeah, I'm not going to channel a specific goddess today. I'm just going to go into a channeling and ask them what they have to say for today, which is April 2nd. Yeah, it's April 2nd here in Japan. It's April 1st, probably most other places in the world. But anyway, so here we go. April Fools, right? The Fool's Journey. I'm going to go into, a channeling and ask them if they have anything to add to this. Here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know of as Mary Magdalene. And we are here with all of you, enjoying these times, enjoying these places, enjoying these energies with all of you. Understand that nothing can hurt you, nothing can harm you, that you are completely and utterly protected. You are made of love, and being made of love, it means that you cannot be taken apart. Your love is with you always. Your love that you feel, the love that you are, the love that creates you, the love that animates your world is yours always, always, always. And understand that you never die. You never die. You may shift from one frequency to another, but you never actually die. You never actually perish. You are made of love, and love never perishes, because love is what everything is made of. And so this is what we'd like to bring forward to you, to all of you listening today, to understanding this as a core value, a core understanding of the universe that you see, of the illusory universe that you see. You see things happening around you. Many of you see many things that are changing very quickly, rapid changes that are shifting right before your eyes. Things that should have taken years and years are taking days to change. And this is the process. You are in the middle of the storm. This is the middle of the storm of change, the middle of the transition period, where you're moving from one frequency to another frequency. And in this time, things can be shaken up. And it is a time of things shaking up. And so when things shake up, you get to see everything that was hidden. And what we would like you to understand is that you're made of love, and that everything that you see is also made of love as well. Even though at times you can't see the love within it. At times you can't understand how could love create something like this. But what we would say is that love creates everything. Love is made. Everything is made of love. So what you see here is love. All of the things that you see are made of love. And so even these stories that are hard to see, hard to understand, are made of love as well. And now that you might not be able to see the love behind them, but you will, and you will understand that everything in this third dimensional paradigm has a reason. Everything has a reason. Everything is held in a perfect balance for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you to grow spiritually. If you understand that you are an eternal spirit, that nothing can ever really happen to you, that you are free, and that you are made of love, that is where your power comes from. Understanding that you're not a part of this world that you see. This third dimensional paradigm is just something that you are experiencing, but you are experiencing virtually, we might say, that anything here that happens does not affect your soul, who you truly are. It does not affect that. Everything happens here is just a learning experience. And if you don't learn one thing, you can come back and learn it again. That's all that all of this is. You're just walking down this path, learning many different things, reacting to many different things, interacting with many different things. But what we'd like to remind you with all of this time is that you're made of love. All you need to do is remember that. Remember that you are love. Remember to choose love, and things will move in the most smoothest way imaginable. All right. Choose love and go beach. Yay. So here we are in April 2nd, April 1st for most of the world, I guess. And this is the beginning of the year here in Japan. It's not my favorite time of the year. It's the time of wind, where things change just like on a dime. Everything just shifts so quickly. And the normal everyday world is hard for me to keep up with. But then when things move like at triple speed, it's just like I have no idea what's going on. And that's where we're moving into. And it seems as though we're moving into that, not just here, but throughout the world as well. So always remember to take time for yourself. Always remember to try to eat healthy, get your vegetables, and get lots of sunlight, and get lots of rest, and take care of yourself. Understand that these are crazy times, but you're going to be okay. You're made of love. Your belief system may fall apart, but you'll never fall apart. So Keone, thanks. It was good to see you again. And I hope you're hopeful, and everyone else, I hope you're hopeful as well. And as I say, go beach, which is what I'd like to do right now. And I hope you're hopeful, and hopefully see you all tomorrow.